I'm Melissa from 70 Acre Studio, and as you can see, here is my assistant, Mr. Dinky Doo. We are here today with our next project, and as I stated on Monday evening, this is going to be a wavy or curved cut stack and whack using K-facet fabrics and solid colors. So let me switch over to the other camera and we will get started. Okay, I have stacks of fabric here all piled up. I have a whole big stack. Let's see, I have 7 stacks, and each stack contains 6 pieces of fabric, 3 print, and 3 solid. Make sure you can see this. Oh, Mr. Dinky's going to come over. He's going to help us. Okay, scoot. Move it, mister. Don't bite me. Don't bite me. Okay, go on. Skedaddle. Are you helping me now? Are you helping me? We're going to make 6 cuts. Again, we have 6 pieces of fabric, and we're going to make 6 cuts across. And then at the end, we will have 6 finished blocks with 6 pieces each, and they will all be different. Okay, they all will have the same fabric, but the fabric will be in different locations. Go on now. Go on, skedoodle. Skedoodle. So when we start making our cut, this is a new blade, so it's nice and sharp. We want to try and start straight and end straight, but whatever happens in the middle is fine. Okay, and you don't want to make really drastic cuts because that's going to be a nightmare. So we're just going to go in straight, and I'm going to grab the end here and put a little tension on it. There. Okay. Oh, bugger. Okay, here we go. Sometimes you just gotta... And if this happens to you, just take your time. Don't panic. Don't pull. Just go back over your line. So that's the first cut. Again, I'm holding it back here to put a little tension on it. Third cut, we got to do 3 more. And now we're going to cut this last piece into 2. Here we go. So we've made our 6 cuts. We're closing this so we don't slice our hand off. The first stack we're leaving alone. The second stack, we're taking the very first piece, putting it on the bottom, and then replacing the stack. The second piece, we're taking the first 2 pieces off. Okay, we're lifting this up, putting this down. Okay, and now we have a solid back here. We're putting this here. That's one thing. It's got to be 6, and it's got to be 6 layers of fabric, and it has to be 6 cuts. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Don't ask me how I know that. That's how I know that, because I started out with 5 pieces and I was going along until I got to the 3rd block and I ended up with this. Now, if you're okay with that, that's fine. But I was running into problems where there was no way to get a different piece of fabric in each location. 6 pieces of fabric and 6 cuts. So now we're doing 3. Okay, so we have a print, a solid, and a print, and that's a solid. We're putting those down here, and we're putting these here. And we're going down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a solid, that's a solid. Bring that down, and then on top. And this last one, you just take this, and you put it at the bottom like that. So there is your stack, and why do I have 2? Do I have 2 oranges in here? No, I've got a yellow. So where did that come from? Let's put the yellow up here. I don't know what's going on with that. Where is the yellow? We're going to put the orange in its place. So these are our stacks. I am taking our first 2 pieces in order like this. And I'm going to flip the second piece over the first. And I'm going to line up those edges just like that. And I'm going to take a few stitches. And now I'm picking one up in one hand and one in the other, and you're going to go like this to sew them together. Okay, so I'm going to be lining up the edges of the fabric, and I'm doing a scant 1/4 inch. And by scant, I mean that the edge of the fabric is just poking out of underneath the foot. You can't really see this, so I'm going to switch to a different camera. Okay, you are really up close and personal right now. I am driving these 2 pieces of fabric like this. And you can see right where the needle is right where they start to separate. So that's what you want to do. Okay, and you're going to take one piece in one hand and one in the other piece, and you're going to kind of drive them like this. So I'm going to go over, and I can't do much. I can only do a little bit. So at that point, I'm taking a few stitches, and then I'm going to move it again. And if you get a good spot like here, I can go all the way up to here. Just keep working your way around a few stitches at a time. If you get a nice little straightaway like that, you can zip right along. Now here I can go to here. And in this solid, you can definitely see that we're dealing with a lot of bias edges, so you don't want to pull. You're just suggesting the direction you want the fabric to go. See, now in some spots you can only do a couple stitches at a time. And I use my finger just to show me where the fabric is, because it's hard to tell, you know, because this is a darker surface, so the darker piece is on the bottom. And again, we're just suggesting which way you'd like the fabric to go. This will be the straightaway that we can do all in one shot. Ta-da!
Big ta-da moment, okay?
Okay, let me go press this up. Okay, so you can see how nice and flat this piece is lying. It looks real nice. So now we're going to be taking the 3rd piece, and what I did want to show you is this. If you see 2 pieces that are the same, you know that this is your next one, because this is a layer down from this. So we know that that's the next one. And again, the next one. And again, the next, so on and so forth. That's how the pieces go. So we're flipping this piece over, and you can see that these are a nice straight line to start with. Scant 1/4 inch. Okay, and now we're down to the straightaway. And that's our next piece. Here is our block so far. We've got 3 pieces, and now we're going for the 4th. And if you're not sure if this falls on the floor and you don't know, well, gee, how does it go? Does it go like this, or does it go like this, or does it go like this? I don't know. It fell on the floor. I don't know what to do. Just line up the cut. So now you know that these 2 go like this. So we can take our next piece and proceed as before.
And lather, rinse, repeat.
Now I'm not pulling the fabric. What I'm doing is I'm gathering it back here so it just goes around that corner, and then just letting it fold underneath the presser foot. It's not going to make a pucker. Okay, and now we're back down to a straightaway. Almost to a straightaway. A few more stitches. There we go. I really enjoyed the vacation that I took last week. I apologize that I didn't do videos last week, but Sanjay and I just wanted to relax and spend some time together. So that's what we did. And now I'm trying to hurry and catch up. During our vacation, I have 3 featherweights, 2 of which I'm going to sell. I have one of the elusive green featherweights. It's painted with white paint and most lighted, as far as I know. It looks green. So I have one of those. It's from Made in Canada. We took it all apart. We cleaned it. We oiled it. We put it back together. We tuned it. We took the tension unit apart. And we reset everything, and that thing is purring like a kitten. You saw my 1951 Centennial Edition featherweight. That I'm keeping. I also have my mother's, which was actually made a year or two after the Centennial. That was in very bad condition. I don't think it hasn't been used in probably 40 years, and my mother didn't take very good care of it, and my father was an auto mechanic. If the machine started making noise, she would give it to him, and he would put bearing grease, axle grease in it rather than oil. So yeah, I had to clean all that out. That now purrs like a kitten. We broke everything down, cleaned everything, put everything back together, oiled everything really good, and now so I think I'm going to sell that one also. But my husband surprised me, and he got me a Singer 301. I think it's a 301A sewing machine, which is the bigger brother, I guess, of the featherweight. And if you know Brenda, I love Brenda. Brenda over at Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda has 2 Singer 301s, and they are just beautiful. And watching her videos just makes my heart sing. I so enjoy listening to the purr of those machines. And Sanjay started to do a lot of research on the machines and found out that they were just really fabulous machines, fantastic machines. So he went on eBay and he found one and he got me one. So it's arriving tomorrow. So we're going to have some fun with that. We have 5 of the pieces on, and we're taking our last piece number 6, and we're going to get that sewn on. So I'm getting the 301 tomorrow, and we also had a machine that we purchased at an auction several years ago. I think we might have paid $10 for it. And it's called a Sovereign 040. And that machine is a clone of the Singer 15 series of machines, and is a heavy-duty machine used to sew leather and canvas. And that did not work at all. We took that apart, and we got that working now, but I'm very excited about the 301. I'll see how it works out of the box, and if it's not working nicely, if I don't like the sound of it, I'm going to break it all down. I'll take the motor apart, and I'm going to clean out the bushing, and I'm going to clean all the carbon out of it, get the motor working good, and then again break down the whole machine. Apparently, the Singer 301 is very popular amongst quilters because you can actually drop the feed dogs. If you want to do free motion quilting on your featherweight, you have to cover the feed dogs. They sell little covers for them. Here is our first block all sewn together, and as you can see, yes, it does suck up. It gets rather thin, but you can use that to your advantage. If you like a rectangle, then you can leave it in a rectangle. Just trim down the unevenness down here at the bottom, square it up to the smallest size. So don't cut these yet. Don't trim them up yet. Wait until you've got them all done, and then take your smallest one and trim them all down to that size. And you can leave it as a rectangle. I actually think before I trim it to a square, I'm going to see what it looks like as a rectangle. It might be a lot of fun. You might be able to use some white fabric so that if you wanted to put this block this way and the next one next to it this way, you're going to have a gap up here. So you can take some white, or you can take some other color that you like, and you can, maybe a metallic or something, and you can put that up there. And it'll give the quilt top a twisting effect. So here is our first block, and you can see it lays nice and flat, and you can see that there's no puckering, there's no stress on any of the seams. It's laying nicely, nice and flat. And I will come back when I've got a bunch of these made. So we're going to take our first piece, and again, now we have 2 that are the same. So this is the next piece you need to take, and we're going to line up the straightaway. think that they turned out really great. I love the color. I love the curve. You know me in color. Loud and crazy is the way I go. Now I do have a whole bunch more here. I've got a big stack and I have some squares of black fabric in them. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace those squares of black with different colors, and then I'm going to save the black to maybe fill in the gaps so that there'll be haphazard blocks. Maybe the black will come together and make like a little pinwheel or something, a little windmill. I'm going to cut up another stack of blocks and I will come back to you when I have those done. This is really fun. Please give this a try. It's not hard at all. Trust me, if an idiot like me can do it, you can do it, okay? Don't be afraid of curves. They're a lot of fun. Take them a few stitches at a time. Don't drink wine. No, I don't recommend drinking and sewing curves. It's not going to work.
The wine really helps with the sewing thing. Good idea.
No. Give it a try. Hello, YouTube. I still have 3 piles of 11-inch squares. I have a total of 18 pieces left, which would make, 18 more blocks. And this thing is getting a little bit large, so I think at this point I'm going to call it, and I'm going to have a think on how I want to lay these out. I've tried several different layouts. I absolutely love it, and I think it'll look nice with some black in there. So something like this, something like that maybe. I do love the black. Yep, I think it really makes it pop. So on that note, I want to thank you all so very much for watching. I want to thank you all so much for subscribing if you have. If you haven't, please do so. It would really help me out a lot. Here's my wild and wacky and wavy stack and whack. So I will see you next time when we put the top together. Thanks so much for watching and God bless.
Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night, John Boy.